By request, I'm doing another parts review, and today we're reviewing the ARP wheel studs.
That beat is hard.
This is how it goes. Welcome one and all to the show. We're wired up, fired up, fucking ready to go. In the back of the parking lot outside of the bar, 20 deep, 20 feet from the boulevard. Black hoodies, black caps, black labeling glasses, previewing the new shit before all the masses. Cause the first thing I need when I got a new beat is to see how it sounds echoing up the street. I just take it for a spin, pop the CD in, slide it up to 10 and get that rear view shaking, then play it again so there's no mistaking. San Andreas the block, get this bitch earthquaking like oh.
Alright, so when it comes to safety and performance, a lot of times wheel studs get overlooked until a wheel falls off, or your studs break, or the new custom wheels that you had put on don't really fit flush or how you want them, or they're getting in the way of, you know, your bigger brake calipers or things like that. You just have fitment issues. So to combat that, a lot of times it's the best thing to do is have upgraded extended wheel studs, and my favorite ones to use are ARPs. I've never had any issues with them, and I've actually had a wheel come off a car. I didn't have ARP studs on it, but it's a long story. But it's not good, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people, you know, that don't have any issues with stock wheel studs until they're running spacers, or they're running you know, too much power and they're breaking wheel studs. So I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I'm gonna bring in the list, and then first off, we're gonna go over the point of use. So point of use of these, your average person is really not gonna need these. You know, your average person just buying a car and driving it to work or to the supermarket or whatever. This is mainly for people who are customizing their cars, putting different wheels on, different wheel offsets, drag racing, track racing, whatever. You're gonna have to use stronger wheel studs. In my case, with the STI, I had two wheel studs that were, the threads were messed up. I don't know if, for whatever, I bought it used, so I have no clue, but they were messed up. One of the wheel lug nuts came halfway through the threads, and then it just broke off the stud, so it's probably cross-threaded before. So anyways, I always make it a habit that if I'm replacing wheel studs or I'm replacing wheel bearings, I always replace the wheel studs, because these are relatively cheap for the safety that it provides. And I'm going to go into the cost, but I don't want to jump ahead. So let's take one of these out, get a closer look at it. As you can see here, these come in various different sizes. This one is for a WRX STI. There's a part number if you want to order some. And here is the stud up close. This is a 12mm by 1.25 pitch. And just a comparison, this is a stock wheel stud. So you can see it is very long, much longer than the stock one, but that's because I plan on running wheel spacers. But the main parts you want to look at, especially if you're custom ordering some of these through ARP, which that's a service they offer, You want to look at the size of the knurling, and they're going to ask you basically a bunch of measurements of your stock ones to make sure that theirs going to fit. So let's get a measurement on the calipers real quick. Measure the stock one first. 1.93 inches. And 3.20 inches. So considerable length difference, and that is needed when you're running larger wheel offsets or spacers. So let's see, kind of got into the size. Go into the weight real quick. That's the other thing you want to keep an eye on is your weight. Anything that you're bolting onto the hub of your car is sprung weight. That's weight that your suspension has to move around, and this is going to add weight. Just, I mean, it's bigger, but you're going to see that it actually doesn't add very much. Alright, so here's the weight of the stock one, 1.7 ounces. Weight of the ARP replacement, 2.5 ounces. So that is 0.8 ounces different between these two. Next we'll go to material strength and design. These are, I don't know what the material of the stock ones are, but these ones are much tougher. In fact, by a lot. These are made of an 8740 chromoly steel, and they have 190,000 psi tensile strength. It's also heat treated and cadmium plated, so that's going to help with rust resistance and overall durability of the threads. Also, you can see the top has got a knurled bullet shaped tip on it. This helps with preventing from cross threading when you put the lug nut on, and also helps when you get the wheel aligned on your lugs, because you got 5 of these sticking out, and it prevents from the threads getting galled up when you put your wheel on. I guess that pretty much covers ergonomics. Okay, durability and track record. ARP's been around for a long time. I can personally vouch for these. I have never had issues with these at all. A lot of race teams use them. They have a very good track record in racing, and also there's a lot of show cars that use them. And also, you know, these extended studs, when they're sticking out, they look cool, which is kind of getting ahead of ourselves in the cool factor. But let's talk about the value. So I don't know what the cost is of a stock wheel stud, but you can buy a whole set of these for the entire car for around $130. And when you combine the tensile strength of these, the option of different wheels, and also wheel spacers, it's like the best bang for your buck, especially if you're already going to be replacing these. These get old, these get worn and used, and they're not too hard to replace. So for $130, that's not a bad deal. Installation is pretty straightforward. I'll have a video come up on that. Basically, the only issue you're going to run into is when you put these in through the back of the hub, you actually have to loosen the hub from the the bearing from the hub. Not all the way, but just enough to where you can slide these in the back. But like I said, I'll have a video on those. Biggest thing though is that these are stronger. They're very similar in weight. They only weigh a little bit more. When you add 0.8 times 5 of these on the one hub, that's only a 3.2 ounce difference. So you're adding 3.2 ounces to the sprung weight of the hubs. That's per wheel. So if you like to see another review, let me know if there's something you're interested in. Let me know in the comments, and see you next time.